Afternoon, Stephen. Absolutely. People are quite concerned by this increase. We know that at least 95 diesel petrol in this city or inland is going to increase by around 36 cents per litre. We've been speaking to some of the commuters here, some of them off camera, telling us that they spend up to 3,000 Rand a month on petrol alone, commuting in small cars between different cities, working here in Sandton and living just outside on the West Rand. And a lot of other people who use their vehicles, I should say, are also quite concerned by how much petrol has increased, saying that it's definitely impacting their standard of living, but what can they do? There have been some very interesting characters here, Stephen, as we have been trying to speak to commuters on the street. Everything from driving school instructors to tow truck vehicles to just ordinary people in their cars, all crying about this increase, saying government needs to do a little bit more than what they're doing right now to try and alleviate some of that pressure around petrol prices. Government just last week announcing a R1.50 break reprieve on the fuel levy at least. Now that will come into effect as well, and that's why we're seeing petrol prices increasing by a little less than we would expect. But for people who drive diesel cars, and that includes a lot of the transit and the freight industry as well, many of the big trucks that are moving our food, our clothes, all of that, a lot of their vehicles run on diesel. They're going to be hit with a R1.50 increase. And that is quite significant. The impact is felt immediately. In fact, the Road Freight Association telling me earlier that an immediate increase in petrol prices like that, they have to absorb that shock first. They can't increase their prices at the same time that happens. And we've seen many of those small businesses go out of business as a result of these increases, Stephen.
Kopano, and I mean, what's amazing about this is that this increase would have been so much higher, as you know, if government hadn't decided to suspend part of the fuel levy. I mean, petrol prices would be up by more than R2 a litre, diesel probably up by more than R3.50 a litre, and this move by government is going to cost, what, R6 billion a month? I don't know where else we can get the money. We could, I suppose, tax cigarettes more.
Well, that is always a possibility, but most likely not to happen, Stephen, because as we know, South Africans would complain about an additional tax to us as a result of everything that's been going on in the economy. But, you know, as you mentioned, it's about R6 billion that we're going to lose in taxes through this special levy reduction. And they've done this through the sale of some of our strategic oil reserves. We'll recall in 2016 that we had a sale of our strategic reserves under different circumstances. This time the DMRE and Treasury all aligned, agreeing that this is the best way forward. It is just 2 months. And so we know that after June, we could see increases significantly more than what we've seen now if the war continues, Steve.